Today we're going to be making some big, colorful, watercolored birds. But before we can make a big, colorful watercolor bird, we need a big piece of paper. So, for those of you at home, we're actually going to take 4 sheets of paper out of our sketchbook. So I don't want to use that one, because I already drew on it. At school, we're going to take 2 sheets of paper, and we're going to glue them together. So tear it out of your sketchbook, and take your scissors and trim the edge off. So I don't have my scissors handy right now, so I'm going to just start by gluing these 2 together. So I'm going to put this one here, and that will be on the back, so I won't even see it. But I can only do that once. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. I need to make another page like that. Let me get that one out of the way. I'll come back to that one in a second. I'm going to put glue down this side, overlap, and voila. Now I'm going to glue this edge and put this on here like this. Now I have one big piece of paper. It's so big, I can hardly fit it on my table. So if you need to, you can work on the floor to get started. Alright, now I have to draw a bird. So let me go back to my sketchbook and give you some ideas and some strategies on how to draw a bird. That's not a bird. That's not a bird. That's not a bird. There we go. Alright, so you've never drawn a bird before, so you don't know how to draw a bird. So let me show you a couple of ways to make a bird. One thing that people do when they show people how to draw things is they like to show them how they can make that thing out of shapes, and then they can go back and smooth everything out. So I'm going to make a bird out of shapes, just regular shapes like triangles and ovals and circles. So let me get started. So I want to make a bird. Let's see, I have a little practice one, so I can do it upside down. I want to make a bird standing with its wings out. So I'll start with the bird's head, which will be a circle. I forgot I have to draw dark so you can see it. And the body is going to be an oval. Its feet will be triangles. And its wings will be triangles. And its beak, which I'll make sideways, is a triangle, and its eye is a circle. So there's an easy way to make a bird. Another way to make a bird, I'm going to make a sideways sitting bird. Circle head, oval body, triangle wing, and a triangle tail. Triangle feet, triangle beak, circle eye. So those are just made out of shapes, but watch what I can do. Now I can take my pencil and I'll smooth that out right there, and I'll erase those 2 lines. And then I'm going to smooth that out there, and I'll clean up my beak line so it's like that. Then I'm going to split the beak, and I'm going to go back here to the tail, and I'm going to make this look a little more like feathers by making them like that, like that. And same with this wing. I'm going to add that onto there. Erase that. And I can put a little more detail into the eye. There. So now that looks a lot more like a real bird. And I'll do the same thing with this one. Oh, let's go back to these feet. I think I better just leave them as triangles. I don't want to get too detailed. They get kind of complicated. So first I'll erase the overlap lines. And I'll just flow those wings out. Then I'm going to add kind of a zigzag line. And I can lose that line there. And the head's kind of big for that body. So I'm going to shrink my head a little bit. Make my head about this big. So I'm going to smooth up and down like that. And then I'll add my beak. Put my line in my beak. And I'll make my eye here. There my bird's looking sideways again. And then I can erase that again. Get rid of all those big lines. And then I'm ready to paint. So let's go to our big bird. So I have a huge paper that I can't even fit. I have to move my tripod back. There we go. Oh, and it wants to be, doesn't want to focus. Come on, focus. There. Just gonna leave it on there. All right, so I want to make a big giant bird. If I want him spread out like this, I could do that, or I can make him really tall and standing up. But I think just because I can't fit it on my table, I'm going to go sideways. So I'm going to make the bird with its wings out. So let's see, I'm going to go up. Say, I think you've drawn a few birds before, Mr. Jerry. Yes, I have. I use bird images in a lot of my artwork that I do. And not real looking birds. Oops. Actually, I like to make my birds kind of like this. Boom, boom. And I'll give them a big old eye. And all right, sweet. Now I'm going to Sharpie them so I can see it really good. This wing would actually come to here. To my tail feathers. My body. It's my other wing. And I do not know what kind of bird this is. It's a Mr. Jerry bird made out of parts of all sorts of cool birds. It's one of my favorite things about this time of year is birds are going to start migrating. That means they're traveling, going back to where they like to spend the summer. And we get lots of interesting and unique birds stopping in our area as they travel. So keep your eyes open. You might see something you've never seen before. All right. Once you have your bird all drawn out, so let me turn it over so you can see it the way I see it. We're ready to paint. So we're going to make colorful birds. So we're going to use our bright colors. So we're not going to use black or brown. And I want you to pick, oh, I'll let you use all of the rainbow colors, but you don't have to use every rainbow color. But we are going to use different designs to fill in our bird. So by that I mean, don't just paint it one color. So I'm going to add some designs. So I'll start with my blue paint. Let me put this over here so I don't have to keep twisting around to get it. So I'm getting my paint wet. And I'm going to add a blue line to my bird's wing. Kind of like when we did our rainbow hearts. So I'm going to add some different designs and I'll kind of touch different colors. So here's blue. So I'll start with that, and actually I want to do this one, blue, just to give me a little bit of a start. And I think I'll put a little band around his neck like this. Alright, now I'm ready to add some different designs. So I'm going to get my red out now. And just make some short red lines at the top of the wing. And then I'll go to the other side and I'll do the same thing. Maybe I'll do that some more. Some there. Now I think I'll go back to my blue, and I want to make blue wavy lines on here. And going back, wash my brush, I'll go back to red and put a red circle in each one of those. And I think I'll go, I don't know if I want to use every single color. I think I'm going to go to purple now. Get it nice and wet. And I'm going to add a zigzag. I'm being careful not to cross over. I don't want to get my colors to mix quite yet. So I'm just adding some designs. With my camera. And I'll put a line in between each of those red lines that I started with. And I'm just going to keep going until it's kind of all filled up. Not totally filled up, but I'd say about the most white space I want is like this in between these lines. Not like this. This is too much. And if there's certain parts you want to color a whole color, like I really want to color my feet and my beak and my eye just normal. I don't want to have designs on them. You can do that. You can also add more details after it's kind of dry. So I'm going to pause this and then I'll come back once it's dry and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, welcome back. I'm all finished. And I think it looks pretty cool. I have lots of little patterns and designs. I use mostly lines and some circles, but it's pretty much filled in. Now this is pretty dry. If I wanted to, I could go on to here and add more and add things right over it, but I think I like how it looks right now. So I'm going to stop right here, and that's it. We're not going to paint anything around it. I'm just going to leave that white. So I hope you had fun painting your birds, and I'll see you next time.